Hey everybody, David R. Becker here with Becker Art, and in today's newsletter video, I'm going to be talking about something at the end of the year that I tell my students about is how to make something very complicated, very simple to paint. We're getting to the end of the year, and I usually get more and more complicated as you go on, but in reality is that I may give you harder things to paint, but I never change my way of painting ever, and I just take this photograph like you see on my left here. You'll see that it's a very complicated photograph, right? There's a lot of people in there. There's a lot of trees, a lot of textures, a lot of fruit and vegetables up front here, and there's just so much going on in this. And so what I do is I try to simplify it so that I don't want to do it like a hyper-realist that would take every single thing and make it exactly like it is. Then you need a really good composed photograph. But if I'm simplifying an image like this, I'm taking it to black and white and going to try to make it simpler as I go along. And so what I'll do is I'll make this image, first of all, what I'll do is I'll make it black and white. And so I'll make it this, and that sometimes doesn't take away a good pattern yet. It doesn't make a good pattern yet because there's still too much black and white everywhere, where it's not composed well because there's like black and white everywhere. The only light I have right now, and it's not too badly composed. We have the light here. We go down, and you don't think about the little specks you see here. And so maybe this is the background. It's the background. So those some of those things you will just take as, pushing them back, right? And so, but I'm just looking at right now the black and white no tan of this image, meaning the black and white of it. And this is a nice big composed value pattern, and the pattern is still not great yet, and so I'll take it one step farther, and then I'll make it, I'll posterize it. And now this I posterized, but everything became black and white, but there still wasn't a great composition to it. So I brought in the middle tones, and the middle tones sometimes you can decide if for the light or the dark. And so I decided to make these middle tones, as you can see right here, the middle tones. I made them more towards the light. I think I'm going to make them more towards the light. So now I have a really simple value pattern. The pattern is dark through the people and the awnings and the trees in the back, and then in front here you can take that and make that like a lighter mid-tone, and that way will give your lights down up here and down here. So it's a very simple composition then, and you know exactly how to paint it with my Becker Art 3-step, right? It's complicated, but the only thing that's complicated will be when you go to draw it. And that you can trace, like I always tell my students, if they can't draw it up in this kind of complication, then just trace it for them. In time, if you do a lot of drawing, you'll get to the point where you can draw this from from freehand. But for those of you who can't, I don't mind when you take a photograph and copy it and trace it, because you still want to worry about the composition first, the lights and darks. This is a big light and dark area. Then you can even take it to where I'm going to take it to where I think about hard edges and soft edges and also color. So I'll take it to this. So this is now, I'm putting a couple other things in there. Color, which is the foreground is more colorful, right? More contrast in the foreground, my center of interest. In the background, I don't have as much of the light and dark yet, but this is like two separate things you do. And I do this all and when I'm out there painting, I'm doing this in my head. I'm squinting my eyes, I'm looking at things that I know will be in the background, I can just blur those. So I just try it in a Photoshop program, but you should be able to do this without even having to do it without, like Photoshop or anything like that. You can take this and you can remember that this is a background, and let's go back to the other thing. The background is light. This area is going to be light in here. And so this will be darker and darker, and it doesn't have to be black. Like I said, this is a no tan of this image, and so when you do make it colorful, this can be blurry, this can be light in there. Oops, sorry about that. This can be light in there. This area can be light all around in this. Come on. It can be light in this area, even though it's green like that, but you can make it all blue. You can make it towards color, make it in the background, put these buildings in there, but by blurring it a certain amount, you can make it look like it's in the background. And then these people in the middle tone are not middle tone, but they're going to be the darks. So this is a dark. The people are dark, right, with everything. And these in front are very colorful. So they come forward, but they're still my light area, and they're colorful and light. And so that this will be the light. The ground again is going to be a light, and then up here is going to be a light. Everything else is going to be dark. So I follow all those patterns, and before I even get started, and then again, the most important part will be that you draw it. that you get the drawing right. But look at how I simplify these people. I don't have to get every single person in there and looking perfect. I can make that whole area, again, look like this, where it's like you can tell they're people by the legs and the shape of them. And then you can go to the first one. Go to the first one. I can make it black and white like this. Get my little arrow out of here. And so then I can make it like that, so I can see that those people are dark and the rest is going to be light. So you decide this, and that's how come you can also do a little thumbnail sketch. You can take a pencil and just do big areas of light and dark. So what you would sketch, it would basically be this. It would be that, and you just no detail in it, just the big area of dark and light, because this already kind of shows what it is, right? You can see there's people. This when you draw it right, you'll see that it's a market, and then you'll have all these colorful fruits and vegetables. Our mind knows that, and we don't need to make that all the same, really detailed. Like these awnings overhead, they can be close to the same color, but they're going to be probably a little bit different colors, and because they're not just black on top of the white, they will show what they are just by making this the darker area. This is going to be a light, but it's not going to be all the same light. It'll just be all this will be lighter than all this stuff. And there will be some of this parts that are dark that are going to be close to what this is. Like some of these darks will be colorful. And again, we can go back to the third one with the colors, where some of these colors can be, in here, the values can be in here, but you want to keep this area right through here, dark, 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 and maybe in the bottom here a little bit dark, but everything else will be light. So the combination of those three things that you got to think about is your soft and hard edges, big value pattern of black and white, and then your colors. So those three things are what you can make it look three-dimensional, and then simplify those. All those can simplify everything. Look at this background, how simplified it is because I blurred it out. It's either hard-edged or blurry, soft-edged, and that's how I always try to teach you how to do wet into wet, is so you can make those backgrounds or the areas that you don't want to have all really detailed, make them blurry, because that brings them all those little things together. It's always easier when you make big value patterns, because then I can either make this big value pattern in the back all blurry, and I would just wet it. I would wet the surface, and then I can take this and wet the surface and just make this blurry, and it's no detail in there. So it's a background. And like this building back here could be lighter and just in value with a hard edge too. So it's either way, and that's all the parts that are so neat with each individual artist. They can do either the soft edges or hard edges, low contrast, so that stays back there, or with color. There's three different ways you can show dimension. And so pick one of those, and then follow your value pattern. Follow in the very beginning all the way to the end. Always follow your pattern of light and dark. Again, what does that look like? That's like this. That is the value pattern. And that's more important than anything to make your really complicated subject matter. And you need to do this to your subject matter too. If it's this complicated, you can't just, if you did it like a photorealist and had a photo like this and you just do exactly like what it looks like, then it's going to look exactly like that. That's what it's going to look like. It's just, and you're going to have to do every single leaf, and you're going to have to do every little thing of that to make it look like that, like a photograph. If you want to make it look like a painting where you're simplifying with watercolor and you want to do big washes, then you got to take those large value patterns, and even though they may not be there, you have to somehow invent them and make them work for you. All right, so it's basically taking a very complicated subject matter like this and making a simplified value pattern. That's how I do every painting I do. I don't care how complicated it is. I take it down and break it down to a very simple composition of light and dark. And sometimes even the mediums, like you saw in this one. Like sometimes it's like this, where you have a medium, and there's a medium in there, because if I made it all white, then you wouldn't see these things. But I think these show you with value that would have to be lighter than my big dark pattern. And like again, I said this is a dark pattern. That doesn't mean you can't have some medium tone in this too, but it has to be darker than this medium tone in the light area. So keep it black and white and figure out your large value pattern, and it'll simplify it every painting. I don't care how complicated it is. I do this outside, plein air painting. I do this in my studio with my most complicated pictures. And I like to take complicated pictures and do this to them because it makes it look like you really spend a lot of time on doing all those little things, when in reality is I'm just doing the texture, the outer edge of that. And I am drawing it in pretty complicated, but I don't paint it like that. I make it the value patterns. And so that you're painting through areas. Otherwise, if you're doing those little things, you're doing hyper-realism, and then you have to do all those little things and make those things like every single fruit there. You got to make it look like the photo. All right, so that's how I make my complicated subject matters simple and make them very simple for you to then make it look like a really beautiful painting. I didn't do this painting of this one. It was just something I wanted to show you guys in my video newsletter this week, and which is going to be almost close to the last ones that we're going to be doing until the new year. And then we start again from the beginning, making everything simple. But for those of you who have followed along all year, start doing some complicated subject matter and then work out your photograph to make it simple for you to paint. All right, so we'll see you probably not this week because we have the holidays. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, everybody. But then the following week we will be doing, was that New Year then? So we may not see it for a little bit for the things, but coming in the new year, we're going to be starting out for one color and go to two color the following week, and we're going to have a bunch of new things for you to learn. So please subscribe to my channel, and we'll get you learning from the beginning, starting come the new year. All right, but for all of you now that want to do this complicated stuff, simplify your value pattern. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.